The village of Sundarpur had always been filled with laughter and joy. But one year, a devastating flood swept through, drowning fields, destroying homes, and leaving despair behind. Among the many families who suffered, there was a 17-year-old boy named Arav, who had lost almost everything. His father's small shop had been washed away, and the fertile land they depended on was now covered in mud and ruin. Every evening, Arav watched his mother sit silently, while his father stared into the distance with hopeless eyes. One night, sitting by the remains of their broken home, Arav asked, "What will happen to us now?" His father sighed deeply. "I don't know, son. Sometimes fear takes away even the courage to dream." The fear was real. Fear of hunger, fear of the future, fear of never rebuilding. But inside Arav, a quiet fire burned. He refused to let despair win. He remembered his teacher once saying, "Hope is like a lamp in darkness. Even the smallest flame can drive away great fear." The next morning, Arav walked through the village. Everywhere he saw fear on people's faces. Farmers sat quietly near their ruined fields. Children clung to their mothers, and elders shook their heads in silence. Fear had tied everyone's hands. But Arav thought, if we all remain afraid, nothing will change. Someone has to start. That evening, he told his parents, "We can rebuild. We don't have money, but we still have our hands and our strength. If we plant again, the land will respond. If we work again, we will rise." His mother whispered, "But what if the floods come again? What if we fail?" Arav held her hand and replied firmly, "Then we will try again. But if we do nothing, we will lose before we even fight." His words planted a tiny seed of courage in their hearts. The next morning, Arav began clearing their field. Alone at first, his feet sank in the mud, his hands ached, but he worked tirelessly. Neighbors watched and shook their heads. "He's just a boy. What difference can he make?" they said. But Arav didn't stop. His hope was stronger than the fear that had paralyzed everyone else. Days passed. Slowly, his father joined him, then his mother. Seeing their determination, a neighbor picked up a spade. Another followed. Within weeks, half the village was working side by side. Fear began to fade, replaced by hope and shared effort. They replanted crops, rebuilt huts, and made embankments to protect against future floods. It wasn't easy. Storms came again, money was scarce, and sometimes the crops failed. Fear often returned, whispering, "You will fail again." But every time fear came, hope spoke louder. "Stand up. Try once more." Months later, as the sun rose over Sundarpur, green shoots covered the fields. The sight brought tears to many eyes. Laughter returned. Children ran in the fields, and the village breathed again. One evening, the elders gathered everyone. An old man, who had once given up, stood and said, "When we were drowning in fear, this boy reminded us to hope. His courage gave us our village back." Arav felt shy as everyone clapped. He wasn't stronger than others, nor richer, nor wiser. The only difference was that he had chosen hope over fear, and that single choice had changed everything. Fear is powerful. It freezes us, blinds us, and makes the future look darker than it really is. But hope is stronger. Hope gives us courage to take one more step, to try one more time, to believe even when the world is falling apart. Arav's story reminds us that no matter how broken life becomes, there is always a way forward. Fear will say, "You cannot." Hope will whisper, "Yes, you can." And if you follow hope, you will discover strength you never knew existed. Life is not about waiting for fear to disappear, it never truly does. Life is about holding on to hope, even when fear screams in your ears. Because in the end, hope is the seed of tomorrow, the light in the storm, the power that turns despair into victory. So, when fear stands before you, whispering, "You will fail," let your heart reply with courage, "Maybe I will fall, but I will rise again, because my hope is stronger than my fear."